took the whole thing out. So we said, well, in order to prevent that from eroding anymore, we better put rock in here. So that's what started the whole thing.
Oh, rocks. We have beauties. One the size of your car.
This is not even a supporting wall. They humor me. This is cosmetic.
Well, the water.
Well, this here.
Water's got blast.
PK,
The real pressure was right there, but they backhoed that out.
PK, the fact that they gave you the cosmetic section, you should really be honored.
Cosmetic surgery.
Yeah, this is mostly cosmetic.
When was this dam built? This one?
1853.
1853?
It was finished in 1853.
Good work, huh?
Started in about 1840.
Good vision, good work.
too, then.
Oh, hand cut, every one of those stones.
You want to go halfway down the dam, there's a rock with a date on it.
How much water?
Down there.
What's the depth of water against the dam?
And the problem of it is now, once nobody knows what it is,
8 feet.
it's like that thing on Dayton's Rock.
So it's not too much pressure.
Level that one on the bottom. I think it was one of the first $1 million projects in New York. They were making $1 million a year shipping coal down.
Right.
And they just had the barges pulled by the mules going down. Little dory boats.
The Erie Canal saved, when they built the Erie Canal, the price of moving produce from New York to Buffalo went down 100 times. It was 100 times cheaper using the canal.
They couldn't get coal to New York City except for this. I mean, that's why it was making the money. It was the only game in town.
Hey, what are you burying that tree for, Paul?
Paul, that tree's going to want to grow a little bit.
Let the tree grow.
Make a well.
Yeah, make a well, not straight against the tree.
That tree's going to help support this years from now, so you don't want to kill it.
Are we helping?
So what are the legal implications of this project?
Video?
Yeah, the project. What do you think the legal implications are of, the downstream issues, the fact that God knows where this water's going, and the control
they're not really diminishing the water flow, so they're not changing any of the downstream rights. They're just keeping it channeled from spilling out. So nobody should be unhappy unless there's somebody downstream who's going to get too much water.
What about the fact that they actually? What about the fact that they actually control? Forget about what they're doing today. That they control the water flow to the downstream.
You can control it. You can control
what if they
it as long
stopped
as
it from going
goes to the
downstream?
next property.
What about just stopping it and using all of it for their own purposes?
That's a problem.
That's big league.
That's riparian rights.
So what are we going to do? How do you deal with it?
Law. There's law on what you can do.
How much can I take?
It varies state by state, and it varies local by local in terms of whether it's a historical appropriation or a prior appropriation. And in the Northeast, there's very little dispute about riparian rights. But when you go out west in Arizona and Nevada, it's really important. And there are all kinds of lawsuits about not diminishing the flow on a historical basis.
The only time it ever went to the spillway is when they weren't using it for the dam, for the canal.
Yeah.
So that pipe should be lower than the spillway. The spillway would have been wasted water for the canal.
How do you get the cover back on the pipe?
I'm sorry?
We got the cover off the pipe. We couldn't get it back on over there. Is there a trick?
Yeah, there's a trick. Each one of us is going to grab you by the ankles with your head down the line.
Does that ever get open? That was for the canal feed.
What, the grate?
That the big round.
The 2-foot pipe.
Yeah,
that was the canal feed.
No, the canal feed was that one.
Really?
Sure.
So what's this pipe for?
This pipe is to drain the lake.
To drain the lake.
That is lower than the spillway.
Right.
So if we have to dump the lake down lower,
so it does open, in other words.
Oh yeah, there's a key that goes in the top, and we open it every year to exercise it.
Oh, the key goes in the top.
Right, and it's
so
it's
that top lifts up.
No, it goes down in the ground. You get a pipe with a gate in there that screws up and down.
What's the gate on the side?
Was that the gate we were saying? There was a little.
That's the grate on the front of the pipe, so we don't suck the logs and stuff in there.
It looks like it's a gate from where we were, but it's just a grate.
It's a grate. So does that pipe drop down then to get, or that's the height? That's the height you.
Bottom of the pipe, yeah.
And there's some.
The front of the pipe.
So that's just a grate in front of the hole.
Right. So because when I open it up, I start sucking stuff up off the bottom. You won't believe the force of the water comes out of it. It goes out from here to that tree. You got a straight shot of water, and then it starts dropping off. So I'm sucking in leaves, I'm sucking in any kind of floating logs. I don't want them going in there.
There's a mechanism there it's a screw mechanism that has, and so inside that pipe somewhere. And you do it once a year just to make sure it's working properly.
I exercise it once a year.
Yeah. You don't leave it open for any length of time. It's not. You don't use that to lower the lake. This is low enough for the winter. Yeah.
Entity that thinks about how much water you're sending downstream or holding back, or how much you're getting.
No.
Every lake for itself.
No, every year, every lake drops the water to take the pressure off the dam.
Right.
Every single one of them.
So what are you fed from? Who feeds you?
Springs.
You're not fed from other lakes?
No.
Oh, that's interesting. You're self-sufficient. Oh, that helps.
We regulate our
And the runoff from these hills, obviously.
We run off, yes, and we get runoff into this lake from the back of Bass Pond.
How many acres? Do you know roughly how many acres feed this?
Well, the lake is 300 acres.
But the watershed is probably
Oh, tremendous.
1,000 or.
Oh, could be, sure. Yeah. Because behind Bass Pond, there's a huge swamp, and that feeds.
Got it.
Bass Pond is overflowing. Now, right now.
Does Bass feed into this?
Yes.
Okay, so you do. So you have one lake that feeds, otherwise it's springs.
Well, it's a pond.
Okay.
Is that part of the preserve, Bass Pond?
Yes.
Okay.
How big is it?
Oh, that's only a couple hundred. That's maybe 80 acres.
So it's a lake.
Yeah, well, we call it. They used to call this Wolf Pond. They never called it Wolf Lake.
Real estate values double when you go from pond to lake.
There you go. That's why they did it.
So why is it Bass Pond? Because it's
small.
A lake is 10 acres.
It's small and there's no.
Is that true, Ron?
No, I don't know the definition.
That's
I don't
the
know if there's a
definition.
definition.
The definition of a lake is 10 acres.
No.
I don't think so.
Flow out clearly, so they got a lot of rock on the bottom, and then here we backhoed this back and we built this wall as a retaining wall.
Well, why do they drop the lake so early? I mean, it's still could be 80 degrees next weekend.
This is great.
Oh, they cut the tree down.
Oh yeah, they cut down the tree.
Smart. They cut the tree you were trying to work around. You don't leave a tree in the middle of a wall to break the wall. You know that working tree?
Oh, they cut the tree down and they finished up my point. That's good.
And the